So yesterday I had some, comments on a post that I did, a video in which I talked about how Jonathan Ross made a poor decision by leaving that car driverless, careening down the road and potentially killing innocent people. And in response to that, I got some insults, but I also had one individual who decided to comment, and the purpose of his comment was to argue with me about whether or not Jonathan Ross could be prosecuted. And that wasn't the point of my video, and I sat down and I crafted an argument anyway, and I went through the case law, read up Barnes v. Felix, and I ended up arguing with him over something that wasn't even the intention of the video. And I realized that one of the problems in dealing with conservatives or anybody who's arguing this way is that you end up talking and arguing about things that you're not arguing about. And so it's hard to have a productive conversation with somebody who keeps switching up all of the time, and trying to find a place where they're right, rather than trying to have an actual discussion about what happened. Was it the right thing to do? Was it the wrong thing to do? Was it legal? Was it not legal? These are all different questions, right? And so really the point my video is making is, hey, this is a dumb decision. He endangered people. Not really good police work. And instead of saying you're wrong or you're right, I end up arguing about something completely different. And so it is important to recognize that the Make America Great conservatives, they do tend to try to drag the debate into a direction that creates more confusion rather than less. So when you're sitting there and you're arguing about, this, whether it's a good shoot, whether it's a bad shoot, suddenly you're talking about whether it's right or wrong, or, is it safe? You're talking about immigration. It's impossible to have a coherent conversation with people who are constantly switching up. They'll say, well, it's legal. And then you say it's not legal. Well, it's right. Well, it's not right. So they'll ignore legal precedent if it suits them, and they'll use legal precedent if it suits them. And that's one of the difficult things you have to understand. The issue is that they want power and control. And that's really, at the end of it, how the debate is going to come down.